Ahum, and thank you for joining me. My name is Mary from Moira's Light, and let's talk about this full moon, right? This full moon is actually going by, and not a lot of people are touching on the fact that this full moon is here because probably it's because there's so much going on in the world right now and inside of us as well, because what goes around in the world, we actually pick that up in frequencies and such. This is the cold moon in January. It is traditionally known as the cold moon. A lot of people call it the wolf moon because the the darker the days, the longer the evening hours are, where the sun, it's less sun time than normal than in the summer. What happens is it's been associated with a lot of wolves howling at the moon. So in December, which is traditionally uh, a cold moon, it is also known in January as such, but a lot of people have called it the wolf moon. Um, the Native American tribes in North America, for what I've read, and correct me if I'm wrong, it is the time of the wolf moon because this is when the wolves usually howled, hungry, uh, close to people where they were staying. Um, Other groups also refer this to a snow moon, and rightly so. Rightly so. A snow moon is right now in many different parts of the world. Kind of makes sense, right? Well, let me give you a quick um, knowledge base here. The colors that we're looking at in this full moon, which is today about 7:24, 7:26, depending on where you are in the evening. It's black, white, and silver. But sometimes your intuition is going to pick on the color violet. If you feel inclined to add something violet to any of the ritual work that you're going to be doing, perhaps you are doing a despacho in the shaman faith, or perhaps you are just doing a ritual work, maybe altar work. You may want to add elements with the colors of black, white, silver, and sometimes if inclined, violet. The gemstones that you want to have handy is the hematite, the ruby, definitely the selenite, the moonstone, opal, the garnet, definitely the jet, definitely the onyx, and definitely the obsidian. And you're going to understand why in a little further into the video. The trees, your usual birch and hazel. Those are the trees that are part of what you want to add to your rituals. The helpers, the divine helpers, the celestial helpers, the goddesses, the um, spirit uh, connection that you may want to add to this is definitely Inanna, Freya, Skadi, but you're going to feel more of Morrigan and Hecate. Morrigan and Hecate, you'll see why a little further down. Those are the ones I feel, my beautiful Morrigan and Hecate. Um, but you definitely feel them in January. Now, there's nature spirits that are involved in this time, which you may want to call upon. Those are the brownies and the gnomes. If you have an outside altar or a fairy altar in your backyard, in your front yard, then you know, it's always good to bring out your gnomes in the winter time, um, to guard, and also to be part of rituals that you may want to have them participate in. There are essential scents, maybe oils that you may want to call upon or gather or make, and it'll be musk, it would be the mimosa, and it'll be the oak moss. There are flowers that you may want to bring into your rituals, and the snowdrops, thistle, and willow. Um, yes, the willow does, it is a flower. But then there are herbs, which thistle works as both, either an herb or a flower, nuts and seeds, marjoram, basil, and pine cones. When I bring these out to my fairy garden outside, what is beautiful about this is when it comes to the nuts and the seeds and the marjoram and the basil, which I try to get them not processed, but from a health food place, and the basil is fresh. I have little animals that come out of their burrows and they eat. I'm helping them throughout the winter. That is the most beautiful ritual that you can give. It is a natural nature ritual um, that you can provide. And having a fairy altar outside, whether it's in the front or the back of the house, doesn't matter, because these little animals and helpers are going to come, especially fairies. They're going to come and they're going to take what they need. And of course, no one can forget the element, which is air. So this is why I opt to use my altar outside, um, because I want the magic to be part of, um, to use air to carry through what it is my intention is. And that way it's going to get up to where it needs to get to start manifesting faster. This is a great time to work on magic that's related to protection. Why now? Why in this moon? Well, it's January, and what I do is I live my life in a calendar so I don't forget things, and that therefore I can plan. I teach spiritual development, and I have a calendar to remind me of what am I filming? What am I doing for my students? So when I do that, and when you add protection in the beginning of the year, you have the rest of the year, you don't have to worry about protection. And again, look at the strong goddesses you're using: Morrigan, Hecate, hello, perfect. You've got the perfect gemstones. You've got the perfect flowers. You have the element of air that you're going to use to surround your home and self with this protection. Okay, so it's very appropriate to begin your protection, calling in your goddesses, your gods, but also your spirit guides, your inner shamans, your ancestors, um, your guardian angels, um, my God, your power animals, your power spirit. It's very important to do this work on a full moon where the energies is going to be even heightened, more heightened. We cannot forget that the full moon, the one that gives the moon the light, is the sun. It is the sun that is sending its ray of light to the moon so that the moon can shine on us, giving us direction and sight in the darkness. So this is a dark light that we are working with. It has nothing to do with negative connotations. No, it is a dark light. It means that through the darkness, there is still guidance and there is still light that shines so you can still see your path. And when you get that path protected now, for the rest of the year, you don't, that's one less thing you need to worry about. Okay. Okay. Um, Meditation is something that you can start in this full moon. Bring her, bring her light, bring her energy into yourself. Whether you have the time to meditate 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whether you have to go to your car and meditate there because the house is full of kids or you have a house full of people, this is your time. And I understand, mommies. I did that for a very long time. I'd get into my minivan and I would sit there for an hour just for me. And my husband was the most beautiful, well, is the most beautiful person in the world because he knew that it was his time to take care of the kids and mommy needed her time. And I would reciprocate for him. Um, when when we understand that there's a lot more hours of the day where there's less sun and more darkness, we become a little lethargic, we become a little stiff, and we also love to just cuddle and stay at home or stay in bed. All this is fine and dandy if this is something that your intuition, or maybe you're sick or going through something. But this is January, and this full moon is your moment to get off your butt. I'm not kidding. To get off your butt, let lethargic, that lethargic relationship you have with comfort out the door. Because this year is not the year to sit back. It was last year, but this year is the year of, okay, now let's reflect on last year. Let's get our energy back. Um, so while you are removing yourself from that lethargic part of, of your existence right now, what is going to happen is you are actually going to start developing more intuition and wisdom because you're ready to work. And um, I don't know about you, but last year, uh, spiritualists were asked to stand down, let the archangels do what they needed to do. But this year is, it's time to start healing and getting things back to normal. And in this full moon is where we begin those intentions. But this year's also the realization that last year we did okay. Not everybody did, but those of us that did realized we could do with a lot less stuff than we did before this pandemic. What does that mean? It means, yes, we can get our hands dirty and make bread. Yes, we can get our hands dirty and make butter. We can make our more of our own things in a healthier way. We can save money by making things and by selling things, by bartering, okay? But we also learned that we needed to clean our physical space and our spiritual space. And we also needed to get rid of the clutter. Well, you did get rid of the clutter, but you put it on one side of the house. Well, that side of the house is not balanced with the energy of all the other parts of the house. So you still need to take care of that clutter if that is what you've done. Well, it's the same thing inside of you. If you move certain energies to one side, you still, it doesn't mean that you just can leave it there. No, you have to work through that energy as well. And you're being given another chance to do this. Um, Letting go is going to be big magic, big medicine in today's full moon and whatever ritual you decide to do. But you know why it's so important to let go of things tonight that does not serve you? It's going to open up the rest of the year for you. This is January right now. This full moon is the one that's going to help you do that. Okay. And it's important for you to understand that, because then now you'll be able to make plans, right? Now, this is a great time. And we protect our animals, and we remember to protect our animals and heal our animals when they're sick. This is not only are we protecting everything about ourselves, but we also have to protect our familiars, our pets. We have to do that, and we do that with this protection, right, that we're doing. You can get a little sample hair from them. If they shed, that's fine. Mine, I have to cut it. You can get something like pine. I like cedar. And then get a gemstone. I like the black tourmaline. I like the hematite. Then I get a little pouch, right? And and I put all that in there. Now I get a candle. I like white candles. People like colors. I work with white magic. I don't need color candles. But there are people that do believe that there is uh, protection in colors. Absolutely. Colors have a frequency, colors have an emotion, and they elicit emotion and memories. So if you want to use black, light blue, uh, pink, like a light baby pink, not a fuchsia, but like a light pink, um, and white, you can do so. You can even make your own candles with all those little colors and little wisps of black if you wanted to do that. And then what you do is you can actually begin, you can open up your circle or open up your sacred space. Um, and the way that you know, you can open up your, to the four winds if you're a shaman, you can open up your circle if you are pagan. And you can certainly open up your sacred space if you're anything else. It's the same thing. We just call ourselves different things because we want to. You're going to light your candles. You are going to prepare all your materials because you want everything on a little table, and you're able to actually get to it. You don't have to leave what you're doing to because you forgot something. No, you put everything on your little table, and then you bless everything. You empower them with your intention. Then you bring in the intention of the universe and the manifestation rules and properties and laws into your work, right? Makes sense. You bring in all your spiritual protective services to bear witness and to sit through these actions that you are now going to make protections for you, for your home, for your business, for your work, for your family, and your pets, because it is important that your familiar is protected. Their lives is to protect you. Well, you need to reciprocate, people. You do. As you focus on your intention, as you focus on your pet or your familiar, always use protective energy and let it flow from the universe into your crown chakra. But it's when it comes here, this center, this heart center, this is where you're going to push it out into whoever it is or whatever it is. If you're familiar is the one that you're doing this to, you may want to hold your familiar to your heart chakra or your heart center as you deliver, and you envision this energy coming through, okay, and going into your familiar or your family member. Then you're going to get all of the ingredients that we talked about and put it in a little bag. And then you want to, that's why I use the little satchels, because I make them small and I put them into a little amulet, and then I put it in on my familiar's collar, but somewhere that they're not going to touch. And somehow I have to take very good care in how I'm going to sew that into the little satchel so nothing comes out. You got to understand that as long as you have your protection in your home, you're only going to put this on your familiar when you're going to leave the home with them. You may have already uh, done the ritual before, the one for your pet, where you have sealed entrance from anything that does not carry a high frequency in your home. And you may have also given a law, a rule, and assigned maybe a gnome or two or a fairy to bring out any negative energy roaming around. For whatever reason, it could happen. But the thing is that anybody coming into your home, once you do that, once you do your protection, the intention should be anything that anybody's bringing stays outside. And then I want their purity in the home. Once they leave, they can join up with them and they take them with them. But in the home, nothing negative shall exist. And then that's just going to take care of everything, because you're going to do this with great intention. You're going to bring in those rules and laws, universal laws. You can create an amulet for people for the front of your home. You can bury it. You can put it around your door, especially in the back door, your windows. But for your animals, you can make it, like I said, you're gonna sew it really well so nothing comes out, because you want to make sure you're using things that is not poisonous for your animal, and only have them wear it when they are outside of your home. Inside of your home, they're going to be completely protected. That's what I'm really trying to say. Make sure that before you give them the amulet, that you have set it out tonight for a full moon charge. And these are all the things you can make an amulet in the color violet. You can make one with silver, white. You can add a hematite. You can add a black tourmaline in it. You can, if you feel called to add perhaps some nuts and seeds, maybe some basil that you have dried. It's not the ones you're going to put outside. You can do that as well. But the thing is for it to be charged by the light of the moon. And you can do that overnight. And then you can actually keep it for your pet, for your familiar, and have them use it. They deserve to be protected. And just like you're going to do your protection at home, you need to invite their essence and make sure that they are in that protective bubble. Now, I will tell you that I've been able to create a protective bubble of protection um, within a 15-mile radius of our home. That is my intention, and it works. So, and 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 it isn't just for us; it's whoever it is within 15 miles radius from where we are. Um, so hopefully, for this full moon, you are able to make yourself able to understand why it's the perfect time for protection uh, around your home, around your business, around your lives, but also for your familiars or your pets. Um, get your calendar, and you can actually put your hands on your calendar while you're doing your protection ritual, and you can protect all the plans that you've made. How simple is that? Because we want simplicity in this year. Okay? So I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope that this information helps you. I hope that you see what it is that we can do in this beautiful January full moon. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Have a beautiful day. And a home to you and to yours. Love yourself, love each other, because you are loved. Bye bye.